how you doing?
Hello, good to see you.
It's so good to see you. I'm loving all this technology because I don't feel so lonely. I have my friends, my coworkers. It's great.
Yes, we're learning rapidly on how to do these webinars and virtual meetings, and I think it's great.
I do too. It's been a wonderful learning opportunity. So, speaking of learning opportunities, you are going to teach me how to use this wonderful new app, and it's called. I keep calling it the wrong thing. What is it?
It's called Super Cook. So, just so everybody knows, Heather and I wanted to do a tutorial on meal prepping, but we both realized that meal prepping has rapidly, if not temporarily,
Right.
but rapidly changed instinctually of what we're doing at home with our food during this
Sure.
time of, social distancing.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know about you, but my husband and I are trying not to go out into the public or the community, so we're avoiding grocery
Hmm.
stores and we're avoid as much as we possibly can
Yep.
with minimal trips. So we already have seen a shift in how we're using our ingredients, how we're using our food, and how we're using our pantry items, at least just for this time period.
Yeah. I agree.
So good. Okay. So what I was really looking for, and I was inspired. I in college, um, and when I got my first apartment, I had a
Yes.
cookbook. It was an actual book where you turn
You
pages.
did not. A cookbook.
And it was a book where every 3 pages was a meal using a main ingredient. So,
Okay.
and if I remember the name of this book, I will give credit where credit is due and I will link it. I don't remember the name of the book, but it
Cool.
would start with like a whole chicken breast dinner, a whole chicken dinner.
Yep.
The second meal would be leftovers from the first main meal, which would be, something like a chicken on
This is
salad.
sounding familiar. I think I remember
And
this
the
one.
third page, right, and then the third page would be shredded chicken tacos or shredded chicken,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
fajitas. The
Yep.
fourth page turnover, now you've got a new main ingredient. Maybe it's pork chops at that point.
Oh, I think I
So,
remember it.
so I was inspired by that book to kind of find something newer, which would be an app
Yep.
that used leftovers and used pantry items efficiently. And that's what
Gotcha.
we're all trying to do right now. We're all trying to use what we have and be
Yeah.
creative with what we've got.
Yep.
But this app that Heather and I are going to go through, it really helps because it has so many features to dial into exactly what your pantry items are. Because even with a book, you may turn the page and you may be missing 4 or 5 ingredients. With the
Correct. That
app,
is always what happens to me.
what it'll do is you put in the ingredients you have, and it will
Okay.
give you a library of recipes that have every ingredient in your pantry.
I'm so glad because if I ask Alexa one more time what I can make with SpaghettiOs and frosted flakes and half and half, she's gonna leave
That's like
or she's gonna
that's
shut
like an
herself off.
episode. It's like an episode of Chopped every day around here. We're like, what the hell
It's
can I make?
yeah, she's gonna be like, "That's it. I no, I'm goodbye. I cannot understand you anymore." Like she's just gonna be done. So this is gonna be
Exactly.
great. So what I'm gonna
So
do, if we're ready, is I'm gonna share. So I'm moving around a little bit more because I'm actually gonna use the app, and you're gonna teach me, and I'm gonna share that with the our audience that'll be looking at this later. You ready?
okay. So the app's called Supercook.
All right. Let me go to it.
You can download this on your Play Store, on your Android, or on your in your App Store in your iPhone. I think Heather has an iPhone.
Yes.
Yes, and I have an Android. So our main pages do look a little differently, but it should be basically the main gist.
Okay. This is my
So
account. So show me what I need to do.
okay, so first thing you're going to do is you can use there's a little microphone at the top, and
Yep.
you can use your voice and you can walk by your pantry and you can literally speak all of the items, the dry goods or the vegetables in your fridge, and it'll record. Um,
Excellent.
so why don't you, if you want to try something like that, or you can just go to each category and you can select a few of the items that you have.
All right. I think I'm going to do the selecting because I feel like if we use the voice one and it doesn't work, I mean, I'm sure it works, but because we've got all these different things going on, I'm just going to go the path of least resistance here. So I know I have yogurt
Hmm.
and I know that I do have broccoli. Maybe it won't use all of the things. Let's see. I've got some bell pepper. I do have onion and garlic. Let's see. Ooh, I actually have some dill, believe it or not. I had kale, but I made kale chips. I boosted that.
You got a lot more vegetables than I do. I have a lot of frozen veggies, but
I've got all of that.
nice.
Let's see. Okay, baking. I've got rice. I'm just trying to pick out a few things that I think
Yeah,
I'm
just pick
actually.
out a few. And just so people know, it may take a little bit of time at first just to kind of pick all your pantry items. But
Mhm.
but if you look at the bottom of the screen, it says My Pantry, and you can see the number kind of adding up as Heather
Oh yeah,
chooses
yeah.
things in her pantry.
Look at
If
that.
you click My Pantry, Heather, just click to My Pantry real quick. Just click over. There you go.
Oh,
It'll
cool.
list everything you've got. Now, once you run out of it, you can hit that delete button and say, I no longer have that. And whatever recipe was necessary for that item will be deleted from your queue.
Oh, this is very smart. Alexa's going to be very jealous.
Yeah, so this says a lot of, it's got a lot of features. Yeah.
I do not have goose. I don't have any goose or
Okay, no
snails.
veal shank. Yeah.
No, no veal steak. I do.
Oh, you got cod? Wow.
I do have some cod. Yes, yes, I do. But olive oil.
There
I'm
you
just trying to
go.
pick a few things from each
Yeah, that's a good
here,
idea. Yeah.
so that we've
And
got.
when you do get your recipes, if your recipe is one or two ingredients off, it'll
Yeah.
say you could make this recipe, but you're missing two ingredients. You can see what those ingredients are. It's like, oh wait, I've got
Oh.
those.
Okay.
And then it'll add it back to your queue.
Let's see. I do have gin. I'm just gonna say, you know.
There you go. Well, hey, you may
I
you
have
know,
I've got some wine too. Um,
wine would be good
okay.
because you may end up getting some kind of sauce out of that.
All right, let me see if it's got. I'll just do it's a red wine, so I'll just do that. And I may go back up, do a few more dairy because I've got milk too. I just want to see what it'll come up with. This is really fun though. Like I love it's showing now. What if there's something I have that is not on this list? Can I add things?
Yeah, so I think at the top are ingredients.
Oh, okay.
Find craisins in group, so I put craisins at it like manually.
Okay. So I've got 33 things here. I mean, I could keep going, but so far so good. What do I do next?
So why don't you click see recipes because it'll show you what recipes now you've already got kind of in your queue based on what you've got in your pantry.
Get out of here. I could make 1,800 recipes?
Okay, so scroll up because I can't see your recipes.
That's as far as I can go.
Oh, I'm still seeing your um your pantry cart.
Oh, darn.
Hmm.
Let's see. Well, we knew this was a possibility. Well, I can tell you what I am seeing. I'm seeing, yeah, but I'll come back
Stop
to
the
you.
screen share and go back. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm coming back to you shortly.
Hey.
Hey.
So now we've got 26 items in your pantry basically right now.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so let's see if we can see how many recipes it came up with for you.
It came up with 1,800 recipes.
Oh, perfect. So
Yeah.
if you can screenshot that page, it lets you filter because you don't want to scroll through 1,800 recipes that
Right.
you
Let's see if I can go back to it. Oops. Let me try sharing the content again. Maybe it just needed to update for a moment. Righty. Can you see it now?
Yay, there it is.
Yay! All right.
So out of everything in Heather's pantry, she can make, there's a 1800 recipe she can choose from. Now, if you look at the top, you can see some
Lemon rice.
filters.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So go over to diet.
Okay. Ooh. So if I was gluten
Choose. Do we
free,
want a vegan, a vegetarian? Okay, so you apply that, and now watch. Your recipes are going to drop, but that's okay. We don't want to scroll through 1800 recipes. We'll be here all night.
correct.
We
That is
want
true.
gluten-free recipes. It's building your menu. Now you've got six. You still have 1600 options, which is really good. Why don't we choose if Heather wants to make breakfast, lunch, dinner, or an appetizer? I think that's under, go to your filters,
Meal
meal
type.
type. Okay, so
Let's
just type you're
breakfast.
looking to make. Okay, she wants to make breakfast.
And these are gluten free, so I could have Val over after we're done with our social distancing.
That's right, and I expect you to make me some soft scrambled eggs. Okay, now, so those are the featured recipes. Now I want you to scroll down a little bit,
Yeah.
and now you can have, now look, see, go up a little bit. See how it says, do you have? If you
Oh
add
my
any of
goodness.
those, you're going to add more recipes to your options because you're just missing one or two recipes for each ingredients for a few opened recipes. So let's
Maple
say
poached
Heather
eggs.
had, yeah, let's say Heather had rolled oats. She could choose that there, and it would save changes, and it would add those recipes that back to her queue.
Now this is life changing.
This is so good. I mean, like I said, there you go. Like I said, it will really help us in this time use up the things that are in our pantry.
Yes.
Um,
And look
so
at that. I mean, oh my goodness, this is what we're having tomorrow for breakfast. This is great, Val.
and if you want to, if you click view the full recipe, many, many, many of the recipes have a video attached to it on how to make that recipe.
Look at that cute little spoon with a
There you go.
with a
Yes.
look at that maple
Poached
poached
egg.
egg.
This one doesn't seem to have a video at the top, but many of them do have a video that comes with how to make that recipe.
Oh, this is
So,
fantastic. And
yeah.
I love jump to recipe because I don't want to hear about,
Oh my God, tell me about it. I don't need to full blog post to get to the recipe, that kind of time. And, it's fun right now because some of us have a little bit more flexibility with our daily schedule. So maybe we can choose a filter that says, yes, I've got, 30 minutes to make dinner. I've got 2 hours to make dinner, so you can filter how long it takes you. So if you go back out of maple poached eggs, go back.
I like looking at them though.
I know. Yeah.
They're so delicious.
Okay, so that was a feature recipe. So scroll down a little bit more. We're still under breakfast. We're still under gluten-free. Now
Yeah.
you've got categories, okay? You've got categories. Use your bananas. Ready
Yeah,
in the
because they're
60
they're
minutes.
about to go bad, so I do need to use these
So there you
bananas.
go. So then you'd want to choose one of those recipes. There's only 30, and you could make your breakfast using your bananas.
Fresh banana curd. Who even knew there was sweet cottage cheese and bananas? Val, I gotta go.
Okay. So that is now if you really, really like a recipe and you think you're going to make it often, you can favorite it down at the bottom if you
Oh,
choose
you
one.
can heart it.
Now here's the
This-
other thing. There's a shopping list, okay? So if there are things that you really want to make that you just don't have in your pantry, you can pop it on your shopping list. Then when you do have to venture out with your face mask on and your gloves,
Yeah.
you've got a very short list that you can add to your pantry that will open up hundreds of recipes.
Fantastic. And look, I mean, even if I wanted to look just at videos, I've still got 19 options.
That are gluten-free breakfast, yes.
I mean, really. And I only put 33 items in. I know I have tons more than that in my my
Oh, you
pantry and in my
probably, yeah,
kitchen. I'm
you
so
probably have much
blessed.
more in your pantry. And then once you use something, so let's say you used up all your bananas for breakfast, go to your pantry, delete your bananas, and then the next day it'll give you a whole new list of ingredients so go down to the,
I just took my bananas out because I'm gonna
okay, there
eat
you go.
those now. I'm gonna go make banana curd.
Yeah, so
And
it'll change your, yes, it'll change your recipe. So some other filters that you can use, you can choose low calorie, you can choose low carb, you can choose low sodium. What are some other, so they're a little blurry, so I can't see them all.
I've got nutritional, recipe time, rating, ingredient, max ingredients, cuisines.
People
What
don't want
fun.
40 ingredients. I want max 10
Nice.
ingredients, okay?
Okay. Yeah, but I look, I can pick different types of
There
cuisine,
you go. Yeah.
German, Indian, Thai, video only,
Yeah.
key ingredient, meal type, and diet. I've got,
And what
this is
all of
great.
those do is they just, filter out, tease out, and reduce the amount of options that you have, which is helpful when you're really just looking quickly for something to make with what you've got.
I love it. I'm coming back at you, Val.
Cool.
That was amazing. I feel a million times smarter. This was awesome.
So my husband and
This
I
was
have been
great.
experimenting with it. We've been using it last night. I never, never, never would have thought. Now this isn't a low cal or low carb, but I never would have thought to make chicken carbonara. I had chicken, I had leftover bacon, I had frozen peas, and I had some gluten-free penne pasta. I had
Fantastic.
a block of Parmesan cheese that was in the back of my freaking fridge that I just never used. And I had, some leftover sour cream. I would never have thought to put those things together to make a
That's
cohesive dinner.
wonderful.
And I just scrolled through and it gave me the recipe. And I could very well choose if I wanted it to be low fat or if I wanted it to be, low carb, and I wouldn't have gotten that one. But like I said, we were just experimenting, and it came up with, something to use things up. And that's kind of the name of the game right now. We'll
Yeah.
get through this. It's not going to be forever, but for now, we're going to be frugal and we're going to use up what we've got.
And I'm glad you talked about like low calorie, for a minute, because I did want to mention while I've got you, because you have been a wellness director for many years, and so have I in different capacities. And I wanted to see what you had to think about something I was thinking about today. With the stress that we're under right now, there's a lot of cortisol and adrenaline being dumped into our bodies. And the best thing we can do is use that up by being active. Great. But that's not always going to be an option for everybody right now. Maybe they've got little kids at home. Maybe they're, you and I, we're working. We've got a ton of work to get done. I'm not always going to be able to, expel all of that cortisol and adrenaline dump. So I am fully expecting to get a little bit more belly fat over the
Mhm.
next couple of weeks. It's just going to be a part of getting through this time. And so I'm
Right.
not going to worry about it a whole lot. What I'm going to be more mindful about is taking care of myself, sticking with some kind of a routine that makes me feel useful, makes me feel alive and part of my community. And if I end up with a couple extra inches of belly fat, I know how to take care of that. We'll still be here and
Absolutely.
we'll help everybody get back into fighting shape. But I think right now it's time to eat nutritiously, move when you can, join us on our Facebook group, which is YWCA New Britain Wellness Group. You can find us in all sorts of places on the main page of the YWCA New Britain. But right now, we want to do what we can and not worry about things like that. It'll be okay. Eat the
Absolutely.
carbonara, have a little bit of comfort food if you need to. It's really okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Spend time with your family. And the meditation that Heather offers, the yoga, the Pilates, all can help reduce stress as well. Exercising, getting out into the daylight, getting some walks in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I do believe Heather will have something on um, scheduling time for you. I think you've already posted some things on
Yep.
scheduling time for you and making sure that you are still doing that.
Yep.
But yeah, we're all just going to get through it together, and we're all just doing what we can.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, thank you for your time, Val. This was awesome. I can't wait. I'm going to go in my kitchen and find out what I'm going to make besides the maple poached eggs.
Fun and have fun, everybody. If anybody has any questions about the app, we're definitely going to post a link to the app
Yes.
in Heather's Wellness group. I will try and remember what book it was because I would really like to give credit where credit is due because that's where it all started. Those three, use up, use up, use up.
Yeah.
But other than that, have fun playing with it.
All right. We'll let you know how it goes. Bye, Val.